Yo guys, we are here for round 7 of the Ironman Championship on F1 2025, the penultimate race of the season. Yes, Sunday night will be the actual final race and conclusion to this season's championship. With that being said though, of course we're racing on COTA, Texas today, heading down into turn 1. It's a bit weird with the ghost cars that are going on.
Why is everyone ghosting?
At the moment, as you can actually hear me say that in the live racing. We're on the hard compound tyres, and basically everyone else is on the mediums. As you can see, there's a bit of contact, more contact through the first sector. Luckily, the ghost cars of Yoni Tormula meant that we could drive through him and not pick up damage from that instant. Jack West rejoining the track up.
I'm so confused.
Ahead as well. You can hear me saying I'm so confused because this was so weird. Like, this before this as well, we had a lobby restart because the lobby was set up incorrectly. So I was like, are people driving like we're having a lobby restart again? Like, what is happening? Because there was utter chaos in the first sector. You can see me constantly looking at chat and understanding if there's going to be a lobby restart or not, because there was so much carnage, it kind of felt like there would be, you know? Either way now, we're in the middle of the track, just trying to defend on our hard compound tyres. Otis Lawrence sends it up the inside, and it sort of is at the moment starting to feel like a small error to go to the hard compound tyres. Of course, we need to see how they play out over the long distance in the race. Of course, 100%, 56 laps here in COTA, Texas. To make the difference, but everyone else is on the mediums right now, and you're going to see looking down the inside, 3 wides in the corner. I don't really have anywhere to go. Of course, I could have backed off in that situation, but if I back off with so many cars clumping around each other, more than often,
And what are these driving standards?
you actually end up the car spinning. So often in that situation, the best course of defense is attack, to actually look after your own race. Because if you back off in that situation, normally someone rear ends you or
just getting hit in the
turns
rear.
in on you. So yeah, really just have to send the car in and hope for the best in that situation. Either way though, we're up in P16 on the hard compound tyres, and somehow holding station from where we started in this race, despite all the carnage and chaos, and being on the suboptimal tyres. But you can see Leo Lund is all over the back of us on his medium tyres right now here on lap 5. We're going to go defensive. He's going to look around the outside, but we're not going to give up the position like that. And now just here trying to settle in. We've got Stefan up ahead as well in the Alfa Tauri, and we're going to be going past him as he's ran out of his battery deployment. He's going to defend it a little bit and squeeze us to the inside line, but even on the less grippy tyres, we're able to keep the car controlled under the braking, leaving space on the exit. And now this is very nice racing, to be honest, running side by side for multiple corners in a row here, but we claim the inside line and we're able to take it right now. But immediately he disconnects from the race, as you can just see pop up at the bottom of your screen right now. Well, I don't know if that was just bad luck or timing that he decided to leave the race, but either way, we're here on lap 7 at the moment, making hay while the sun shines, because our tyres should get better compared to the medium tyres as the stint progresses on. Something that'll be really interesting during this race will be the difference between a 1-stop and a 2-stop strategy. It's the 2 options really on paper before the race. From what the game displayed, the 2-stop did seem a little bit faster, but if you can manage the tyres correctly, you can gain quite a lot of track position and avoid quite a lot of on-track battling by doing your 1-stop strategy. So we're going to try and evaluate that as the race goes on and understand what could be the best course of action. Of course, if there's a safety car as well, a 1-stop strategy becomes even more advantageous, depending it happens at the right time. But Leo's gone deep. We're going to sniff an opportunity. We're going to go down the inside. Very decisive to claim the inside line right there. Rather than falling into line, we claimed the apex ahead of us and was able to move up into P14 in this race right now. So lap 9, our tyres are starting to become good, and possibly their mediums are starting to fall away as well. You can see moving the brake bar slightly rearward as we're closing up to the Mercedes, just to minimize the chance of a front tyre lock as we're going into the final sector here in COTA. Lap 10 of the race. The hard tyres are feeling good. We're 2.5 tenths back, but we're going to send it down the inside, get the car car stopped on the apex. He leaves us the racing room. We leave him the racing room. And again, very good, clean, fair battling as we sweep around the outside up into P13. Jack West. Oh, Jack West. If you saw the Austria video from earlier in the season, then it might just get a bit spicy. But either way, Jack West has cleared the Williams up ahead of us, and that's going to be our next objective. The car's feeling good, the car's rotating nicely, I have good traction, good top speed as well, as you've seen that we've been able to pass a few cars in the straight line. So yeah, feeling good with the car. I think, even though I knew in the race, the biggest question mark will be the strategy, how it's going to unfold, and especially because of the chaos that happened in Miami on the previous race and the chaos that happened in the opening lap as well. I kind of had a bit of a hunch that a safety car might happen, you know, on this race, but either way, able to easily get past the Williams as he did not have the DLS and he had his ERS turned off as well. 1.2 seconds to Jack West. So really critical that we're able to get back in that DRS. We've gone green both in the first and middle sector of the race. So good performance still left in our tyres all over the back on lap 16 here. And we're going to be thinking about looking up the inside, but he covers that in a really nice way. Doesn't give us the opportunity to claim the apex. And we have to think again, understand what we could do different to possibly gain that position going forward. Lap 19, so we spent a few laps thinking about it, a few laps applying pressure. You can see just jinking to the inside there, trying to distract him in the mirror. Also better get a bit of clean air over the front axle of my car to increase the downforce. And now going down the straight, a bit of lag on Jack West's car, and you're going to see that's going to become quite prominent towards the end of the race, into the end of sector 2. A bit of a front left lockup here, just pushing the car very hard in the dirt. Yeah, right now we're ever so close. Are we going to look for it? Yes, we are. We go down the inside, but you can see Jack West has a little bit of lag on the apex. We're going to take a look at that in slow-mo as well. We go down the inside, and you can see his car lags, starts to turn in because of the lag, what meant I had to take avoiding action. Well, I actually didn't have to take avoiding action, but because of the trajectory of his car from where it lagged, I thought I needed to turn in earlier to avoid contact.
What happened with Jack to Ghost?
And yeah, you can see his car ghosted as well because of the lag. So yeah, I had to turn in earlier to possibly avoid, because I didn't know if his car was on that true trajectory or if it was lag what forced the car on that trajectory to be turning in tighter. Turned out it was lag, and I didn't actually have to adjust my racing line. But yeah, picked up a corner cut warning because of that. Not because of Jack West's lag, because that would be silly to say. I picked up a corner cut warning for my own racing line, my own attack. But yeah, was definitely a bit distracted from the lag. So yeah, it is what it is. We are now on 2 warnings in this race, so it's going to be very difficult to finish up this race without picking up a corner cut penalty. Up behind Jan, and you can see lap 22, here's a medium tyres are absolutely gone. We're going to switch down the inside, and we're able to claim the line even before the apex. So yeah, his tyres are really struggling. Something I was taking mental note of at this point, that you can get about 20 laps into this race before the tyres really started to fall away from you. Up ahead is also Jarno Opmeer, Isvan Pukki, who are also on the medium tyres, and they're going to go for a one-stop strategy as well. I think you can see Jack West is going to weave to say, okay, you go ahead, Brendon. You have the better tyres at the moment. You have the hard compound tyres. Let's try and catch Jarno Opmeer and Isvan Pukki up the road. But you can see Otis Lawrence has done the fastest lap of the race, and that's not good for us. For him, it's fantastic, but for us, not so good. The reason that's not so good is they're on the two-stop strategy, and they're already catching us. So Ryan Grob, our teammate for the race, who's doing a really nice job as well, to be honest. He was called in like super last minute, maybe even less than 10 minutes of preparation. So he was put on the pole position, because of course it's reverse championship order. He's on a two-stop strategy. He's already passed us on lap 26 of this race, and now Otis Lawrence, I think he needs no introduction, to be honest. Absolutely flying on this game as well. So yeah, he's already all over the back of us here on lap 26, despite making a pit stop. So at the moment, the one-stop strategy is not seeming to be the optimal way to go, but we're so deep into the race right now, as you can see, we don't even bother defending. There's no chance to defend either way. His pace advantage with the fresher tyres is just so huge. But yeah, We need a safety car, to be honest, to save our race. We need something to happen to save our race, because we still need to go, to be honest, another 10, if not more, laps on these tyres to be able to do a one-stop strategy. The hards are feeling good as well. The hard is a really good tyre on this race. But yeah, I'm all in at this point, because if I box now for another set of hards, sure, I would have a lot of good pace. Sure, I would have the opportunity to make up a bit of ground. But I still believe that the mediums were a good tyre, because it's 28 laps into the race right now. You can see Jarno up ahead on the medium. So I was taking mental note of that. You can see just going a little bit defensive to Duncan there. The reason is I didn't want to be in his dirty air through the final sector. I wanted to stay a bit closer to Jarno, so I could follow him through basically. But Duncan did a really nice move up the inside, and not something really we could defend. But yeah, lap 28 of the race, you can see I've gone green with my sector split. So still the hard tyres are good. They're still performing well. But yeah, I was really intrigued by the performance of those mediums. I did actually ask for 2 sets of mediums before this race, but the game glitched and only gave me 1. So that was not ideal. It's also a glitch I've noticed when playing 2-player clear mode quite a lot. So yeah, I would have loved to do a hard, medium strategy in this race. But yeah, at the moment we're stuck to having 2 sets of hards. And I thought, okay, let's send it. Let's see what we could do. Let's see what we can get out of these hard tyres before swapping over to the mediums later on. And I definitely didn't want to take on another set of mediums right now, in case there was a late race safety car, because at that point you want to be on the mediums, you don't want to be on the hards. So, ending lap 29, we're provisionally in P5 in this race. You can see Leo, Duncan have pulled away from us on their fresher tyres. They're on a 2-stop strategy, and it really highlights, to be honest, a bit of the mistake and misjudgment I made by going to that to the 1-stop strategy, as Leo was behind us earlier, and now on lap 30, he's ahead of us. So, definitely something to learn, and I think on F1 2025... it's really intriguing. I find it really intriguing. It seems like in 50% races, from watching PSGL at Brazil and E-Series at Brazil, again by PSGL, one-stop strategies seem to be really good, but require a lot of tyre saving. But with 100% races, really you have to do like a 2-stop strategy. This was quite a nice and cheeky switchback. Sorry, Luca. You sent it, but we was able to get the traction. So, yeah, I'm sure he's going to repass us pretty soon. But going back to my point, it seems like 50% races are more preferred to be at the 1-stop strategy. Just simply because there isn't as much time to use the fresher tyre in a 50% race. Whereas at a 100% race, you just have so much time to be making up that time and that ground again to the cars ahead, you know. And more opportunities to make the overtake. I think in 50% races, cars are more tightly clumped together. Whereas 100% races, cars are further apart, just naturally because it's a longer race distance. And probably people are taking more care because they don't want to ruin their race on lap 15 of a 100% race, you know. As we're coming into the pit stop here on lap 33, actually became in on lap 32, but ticked over to 33 during the pit stop. So I knew that this is going to be a long stint on the mediums. I couldn't stay out any longer. I could in terms of percentage wear, but I knew that I was losing so much ground to the cars ahead that we just have to get on the mediums. Tyre save quite a lot right now. You can see Joni Tormula is behind us. Also to address that pit exit, it seems like you can do it in Ironman. No one reported me for it anyway, so I just was able to gain a bit of free race time and get away with it. So win's a win. But yeah, you can see right now here on lap 34, we decided to not fight Joni Tormula, let him go ahead of us in this situation, so that we could follow him in his DLS and really just focus on saving our tyres. At the moment, you can see just trying to be smooth with our inputs, specifically for the rear tyres, because that's what's going to matter later in the stint to make sure you get traction off the corners. But right now, something that I did not expect to happen on this lap, Leo Lund has also came in as the pit stop for his final time as well. He'll be going on to the hard compound tyres. But if I knew, of course, it's impossible to know, but if I knew that there was a risk of Leo coming in on this lap, I would have probably wanted to stay ahead of Joni, so that I could overtake Leo on this next lap. And I've just done apex is lava. To be honest, I was so busy looking at what tyres Leigh was on that I just completely missed my braking point. Fortunate not to lose more time than I did, but it's going to be a semi-costly error going down here, because you can see Yoni is still going to stay behind Leigh on this straight, but we're just not close enough to capitalize at the moment. You see we're pushing a little bit on this lap just to try and make up for the error that I made and gain that ground back. But yeah, you can see on the pit straight, Leigh has opted to fall behind Yoni. I think so Yoni could push on his medium tires, as he does the same thing as I did on the previous lap. And then, yeah, I think Leigh's plan would be to re-overtake Yoni just as we get back to that DLS train of the cars ahead that is featuring the cars like Islam Puki, Yano Otmir, etc, etc. The top 3 cars are really gone in this race. You can see them on the mini-map on the top right-hand side of the screen as we pick up... What?
Oh, man, that's so unlucky.
A corner cut penalty. You hear me say that's so unlucky? Not because...
It was like delayed.
Not because of the mistake, because that's not unlucky. That was just a skill issue. But the reason I say it was unlucky is going back to what I mentioned earlier with Jack and the lagging car into the left-hander in the final sector. Because I feel that that warning was quite harsh given the circumstances, but, you know, it's life. Get on with it, you know, sometimes. So now on lap 37, we're really trying to send it. Also, some weight has been taken off the shoulder in some ways, because before we were super cautious because of the penalty or the risk of a penalty. We was doing so many laps on 2 warnings. Now that we have the penalty, we can relax a little bit right now. We can push the track limits a bit harder. And now going down the straight, you can see Dennis, who's on the opposite strategy to us as well, is going to be getting overtaken by Yoni, Leigh, and also myself down the inside.
Oh, that's my bad, sorry. I went a bit deep there. Sorry, Dennis.
Yeah. You hear me say, sorry, Dennis, because, yeah, that was my fault. I went a little bit deep on the brakes and punted him on the apex just a little bit. So, yeah, my apologies. Sorry to Dennis in that situation. We also have Ryan behind us, who's also done another set of tyres towards the end of the race. So, I think he's on a very similar strategy plan to Leigh. So yeah, really interesting how that's going to be playing out as well. At the moment, still trying to focus on tyre saving, specifically the rear tyres. So when we do catch that train, then we still have a good tyres, not overheating the engine, etc. Is my real game plan at the moment. I feel pretty comfortable in the zone that we are. You can see we're just sitting around 7-8 tenths away, not using that much overtake on that straight, using medium for the most of it. But yeah, just focused on tyre saving to the maximum capability that we can. Lap 41, we do a provisional best, well, personal best in the first sector, highlighted by green. But we are really now getting onto the back of the DLS train, and this is all the way running up to P4 in the race here today. So there's a lot of opportunity here on the table. Still managing those tyres, and now we have the Williams up ahead of us, and this is going to be a really tricky situation to navigate because the medium tyres are starting to fall away from their optimal prime, the optimal best at the moment, and the hard tyres are really coming back into fruition, especially the people like Leo Lund, who boxed again for another set of hard tyres, are really going to be flying at this segment of the race. So we have a really high level of battery, we have a good level of that. We have good tyre saving during our stint as well, but now it's crunch time to see if we did manage these medium compound tyres enough to be gaining something later in the race. You can see as soon as we get into the understeer, the front wash is quite dramatic, and you can see the Williams is snapping around on the exit of the corner, and now we really have to dispatch him on this lap. We have to get absolutely past him on this straight, all over the back of him, but already the gap is 1.4 seconds to Yoni Tormina up the road, and this is a disaster for us because we are just in that situation now where we have lost the DLS. We do a little weave there to basically say thank you for not making our life too hard, but we have to lock in on this final sector right now to try and get back within that DLS detection. But like I say, the train is going to be moving so fast right now. It's not going to be easy to do because my medium tyres are degrading, but the hard tyres are in the prime era of this stint. We have already closed a handful of attempts to Joni Tormula up ahead, but we're not going to be close enough for the DLS. Through the left-hander, we send it in, a bit of understeer there, but we didn't actually lose time to Joni during the apex, and now into the final apex of the lap. 1.2 seconds, but we're in a really difficult situation right now, because the train has now passed Jack West, who is going to be our next target up ahead. And I was thinking, great, okay, fantastic, we can get back in the DLS of the cars ahead. 1.1 seconds to Jack West. The gap is coming down, but you can see he's going to do a very late decision to go into the pit lane. And yeah, that's GG for us. That's GG for us. The gap is now 1.9 seconds. 2 seconds for Joni Tormula. They're in the pace of the hard runners, and now I've got worn mediums. In hindsight, in real hindsight, I think I should have boxed now. I should have followed Jack West into the box and done another set of hards, or maybe even the softs even. Probably not the softs, but you know what I mean. It would have been probably better than my situation right now, because now cars like Joni Tormula are going to get pulled along by the hard tyre runners who are in their prime, in their good grip segment of the stint, whereas my mediums are only going to get worse. You can see right now Ryan has re-overtaken us, and he is on the same strategy as Leo Lund, as I mentioned previously. So it was only him able to catch us once we fell away from the DLS of the cars ahead. And you can see now on lap 50, was able to follow him pretty comfortably. You know, we did personal best also in the first sector, highlighted by the green on the top right hand side of your screen. So yeah, was able to follow him in a really nice way, a really comfortable way, towards the end of this race. So lap 50 right now, and he's somewhat pulling us to the cars ahead, at least negating the advantage that we had. You can see now on lap 52, pretty close to Ryan. I don't really want to overtake Ryan, to be honest, because I have a time penalty. He doesn't, so it's not important really for me to overtake him at this point, but defending from Luca, because you can see he has 6 seconds of penalties compared to my 3 seconds of penalties, and it's pretty much inevitable that he's going to overtake me towards the end of this race. But the more I delay him doing it, the less advantage he can gain later on, and the better opportunity I have to re-overtake him due to having less time penalties. So I'm just keeping that in mind and just really pushing on. But yeah, Jack West, of course, who boxed earlier, not too long ago, is now only 5 seconds away from us. So we have not worked any miracles with the strategy in this race. But you know, sometimes you live and you learn, you know. I definitely know more about the strategy on this game from this mistake on the strategy on this race, as we're now going to go another time on the switchback on Luca, but this time we're not going to have the grip to hang it around the outside of him, and he's going to claim the inside line. We think about sending it down the inside, we do send it down the inside again, just to delay him on his race time, but better traction on the exit, and that's GG, nothing we can do in that situation. But yeah, now lap 55, Luca had basically got past Ryan, and Ryan was able to stay in the DLS of Luca, and we're a little bit in no man's land. My tyres are so far degraded. We're not a million miles away, to be honest. We're really not that far away from P4. P4 is now only going out of this hairpin up ahead of us, so what is that, like 5-6 seconds away from P4 in this race. So considering how far back we started and the mistakes from the strategy, and not really being able to capitalize on lap 1. Oh, this is an interesting moment. Yeah. I think it was lag, to be honest, because I did mention Jack West was lagging. So I don't think he did swipe us on the straight on purpose, but I think due to his connection, it made it look like he did swipe us.
Yeah, that's giving me wing damage.
And yeah, we got wing damage from that, so it basically just caps off the race for us. But yeah, previously, before that incident, like I say, 5-6 seconds maybe to the P4 position. So considering how bad the strategy was, to be honest, and the fact that we were not able to capitalize on the first lap, carnage because of being on the hard compound tires, and the other esports drivers like Yano, Otis, etc. did a fantastic job on lap 1, capitalizing on their medium tires to get through the pack. Overall, the pace was solid. I don't think the result well, it's not that I don't think the result is not good. We're in P11 in this race. I think key learnings definitely are. Should have swapped to a 2-stop strategy earlier. I think even if we bailed to a 2-stop at a not optimal time, it would have been better than what we did. That's for sure. I think mainly that, to be honest. Of course, little learnings as well. Had fun battling people. I think the pace of the car was pretty good. Could have maybe added a click or two more front wing just to help the rotation of the car. At the moment, we have no rotation because we have the front wing damage. But yeah, other than that, I think it was a solid race. Just sometimes how this Ironman Leigh can go, you know. It's such a long race distance, there's so much dirty air in this game, that if you get caught in the wrong pack at the wrong time, on the wrong strategy, it's GG, you know. So coming out the final corner to round off the race.
Yeah, and the damage cost me getting points. Sums up my race, really.
And yeah, I think pace was okay.
Yeah, I think pace was okay, it just never worked out on the strategy.
And yeah, that was my live thoughts directly after the race. And yeah, I do reflect that. I think pace was okay. Just didn't work out on the strategy. But those things can happen. So tomorrow, Sunday night, will be the final race of the Ironman season here on F1 2025. So I loved doing this season. To be honest, it's been really fun. I do plan to do some more league racing on F1 2025, primarily in WOR. I don't think I have a reserve seat for PSGL, but PSGL is really sweaty, and I don't have like an engineers, etc. So I think WR is a bit more suited to that kind of style of not working directly with engineers. Yeah, with that being said, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for the support, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video as well. Grazie, ciao, ciao, bye bye.